Okay, this one's going to be exciting. This is the men's 50 to 54 points race. This was hotly contested last year, and it was Otago's Justin Stott who prevailed. This year Justin is fully focused on Road Worlds, where last year at Road Worlds he took the bronze medal. Now we have 3 Kiwis in here. So straight after Justin won the 50 to 54, Chris Ellington won the 45 to 49, and Chris is now in this 50 to 54 age group. And he has 2 Kiwis with him. Wayne Mason, who finished second to Chris in the scratch race, and Gary Mickelson, who took the bronze in the individual pursuit. And it's Gary Mickelson who has gone on the attack, so this will be forcing riders, an American rider, I think that's Scott Cox, one of the French riders, Chris Ellington, just patrolling on the front. Wayne Mason, they lap up. Byron Swart, originally from South Africa, now Australian, French rider. So no real chase at present. So Gary Mickelson, well, he can pursue like this all day long if given the opportunity. One of the British riders now drops down into the racing lane. Chris Ellington just slots in behind him, a French rider, Wayne Mason from New Zealand. He got his first taste of representing New Zealand in 1993, riding the Junior World Champs, back when track and road Junior Worlds were held together. So it all eases up again. Wayne and Chris, this is perfect for them. They are just going to patrol on the front and force the other riders to chase, as they're counting down to the first of 6 sprints. First of 6 sprints in this 50 to 54 age group. They had heats this morning, where all the New Zealand riders comfortably qualified. So Gary Mickelson, wife Lee, just took the bronze in the 45 to 49 points race, and Monique Brake won her second world title in total, and this week adding to her individual pursuit. So the first sprint, Gary Mickelson's going to take 5. Chris Ellington just sitting on the front of the bunch. Scott Cox trying to contest. So Chris Ellington will take, Gary Mickelson will take 5, Chris Ellington 3, Scott Cox, now Wayne Mason also got up there for points. So Kiwis taking 3 of the top 4 spots. Early days in the race. Wayne Mason on the front now. They'll just settle up. So the pace just keeps on. So Wayne Mason, Wayne and Chris lap to field. Here we go, counter attack. So Chris just rolls down the banking. I just said, just start high. As soon as anyone goes, just roll down after them. Just keep marking. He is supremely confident. He won his individual pursuit. Well, he qualified in a world best time, and just went qualified 6 seconds faster than the next rider. It is 161. It is Frederic Costa from France having a wee dabble, but Chris Ellington just patrolling at the front. Wayne Mason right up there as well. So those two were the only 2 who lapped the field in the scratch race. Now in the points race, they're going to be sprints to break things up, hurt the legs a little bit more. So I'm sort of picking that there'll be opportunity plenty. So rider 126, that is Anthony Doyle from Ireland, not the Tony Doyle, the great pursuiting legend of the 80s, sadly passed away a couple of years ago, I think it was. He was an incredibly well-respected pursuiter, two-time world professional champion over the 5,000 metre distance before they removed the professional amateur distinction and just made it elite. So Chris Hellington on the front just wants to keep the pace high, deter any attacks, but just more than happy to mark them. They're going to come in and get the bell for the second sprint. So Chris supremely confident. He's got the Swiss rider Martin Roop on his wheel. I think it's a French rider, Wayne Mason, sitting there in second wheel. So Chris Hellington just waiting, biding his time. So Chris Hellington, he'll sense that rider just starts to accelerate. Oh, it's close. I think the French rider might just have got up on him there, but we'll see if that how that stems out. So Chris, recently part of that scratch group at the Twizel to Timaru, took 9 minutes off the record of Marshall Irwood, and Marshall, of course, is headed to world track cycling champs. So that's the quality of Marshall Irwood, and Chris Hellington was the third Masters rider there behind Craig Domigan and Kyle Gray. And a little birdie tells me that both Kyle and Craig are keen on competing at World Masters champs, track champs. So yeah, the French rider, it was very close. That just showed us the photo finish. But Chris Hellington leading on 6, Gary Nicholson on 5, the French rider on 5, Wayne Mason will also be in the points. He's sitting in 4th on 3 points. Jeremy Cottle from the US also in the mix. And now one of the British riders, I think this is 131 Andrew Critchlow. So we saw him doing a lot of work in the scratch race. So Andrew Critchlow, but Chris Hellington just marking. And so Andrew Critchlow on the front. So gaps starting to open up the bunch. So already there are 2 sprints in. There are already tired legs. Riders are getting gapped already. This 50 to 54, it just seems to be the, having been here for the last 4 editions, it just seems to be that tipping point where riders, I think possibly, kids have left home and all of a sudden you get a little bit of money to be able to spend on bikes and travel, and but also potentially a bit of time to focus on your own cycling. It's always been the big grade. You tend to see a lot of so Chris Hellington down in the racing lane. One rider trying to challenge, but Chris just owns the racing lane. We tell this riders this on Denton Park, down in the racing lane. Wayne Mason's tucked right in behind him. So Chris Hellington and Wayne Mason are going to take the 5 and the 3. So this is going to extend Chris's lead. So overall lead as riders are getting shelled and drop left, right and centre. Rider 165 goes on the attack. We'll get his name in a second. But there's just momentum in the bunch. So Chris Hellington, Wayne Mason, Jeremy Cottle, Jason Roberts. So 165. He's not in the top placings. Like I can't see him anywhere. Scott Cox. Scott Cox of the USA. He's actually staying in Roubaix, just right across the road from us. We've been there 4 or 5 days and didn't actually realise it. Yeah, lucky they've got a little car park at the back. We play car park roulette every time there's not a lot of space, and I have to say Chris Ellington's reverse parking on the wrong side is exceptional. And more riders are getting drifted out the back. Chris Ellington now on 11, Wayne Mason on 6. Gary Mickelson in 3, so it's Kiwi 1, 2, 3 at present. This is the cunning plan. Now we've now got a French rider 161 on the attack. Chris Ellington and Wayne Mason. They chase it down. 161. It is. So the two leaders, 161, Frederick Costa. So he's still on the front, laps up, Chris Ellington, Wayne Mason. Where's Gary Mickelson? He just needs to suck a bit of oxygen. We see Gary now just starting to make a wee push around the outside, and he has another little dabble off the front. Chris and Wayne, they will cover for him. So Chris and Wayne are feeling comfortable in their sprinting. They're coming in to get the bell for the next sprint. So Chris and Wayne in a super handy position. Wayne won't contest the old riders just popping out of the sprint. So the pace being set by Chris Ellington is just ferocious. He is so Chris and Wayne, they extend their lead in 1 and 2. It all just eases up. Frederick Costa, Martin Root, the Swiss rider, riders catching the grip. There's something again. We tell riders at Denham Park, if you're catching riders in the bend, you got to yell, stay down, because your instinct in the bends is to lap right up. Oh, this is nice. Gary Mickelson is just starting to try and punch off the front, but Chris Ellington. So Chris Ellington going with 10 metres! So it's the 3 Kiwis out in front with the Swiss rider, Martin Roop. So three Kiwis out in front with the Swiss rider. Oh, but there's, there was an opportunity. There's an opportunity there to go. Gary Mickelson has another wee dabble. Chris just drops onto the wheel there with Martin Roop from Switzerland and Wayne Mason. The rider in 5 is struggling. There's a French rider in the gap. 132 will get his name. That's Jason Roberts of GBR. Wayne Mickelson goes again, but Scott Cox just closes it down. You can see the plan of the Kiwis to Wayne and Chris will just keep hoovering up the sprint points, and Gary Mickelson will just try and slip away. He's probably more adept at time trialling, whereas Chris and Wayne have a lot of experience. It's the Australian, originally South African, Bahrain Swart. Oh, on the front, and he drops down the track onto to Chris, but he's a super nice guy. He saw he was starting to get a little close. So they're coming in with 2 laps to go to the next sprint. Chris and Wayne are in a super handy position. So Chris is just going to patrol from here. and ensure that the points are there. So Chris Ellington starts to wind up again with Wayne Mason. So Chris Ellington leads Wayne Mason down the back straight. Right at 137. 137 is going to take 2 points. Martin Roop takes the one. So 137. So Ross Crook of GBR. So it's still New Zealand 1, 2, 3. Edward, tell him to let Gary go.
Let Gary go!
So I think that's Andrew Critchlow again, having a wee dabble, being marked by Chris and Wayne. So Gary Mickelson at the back. So it's counting down five laps to go. Scott Cox from the USA has another little dabble on the front. With the French rider. So the riders, where is So, well, Chris Ellington, he's got this race won. Even a crash can't prevent that from him now, or a puncture. He maintains the points. So Wayne Mason on the front now, chasing the British rider and the American. So Wayne Mason and Chris Ellington. They are going to take another 1-2. So Chris Ellington goes in front. So Chris Ellington absolutely dominates. Chris Ellington takes his third World Championship of the tournament. This is number 6 for him. Wayne Mason will take the second, take the silver. Unfortunately, I don't think Gary Mickelson will hold on for the bronze. But, here we go. Chris Ellington, Wayne Mason do the 1-2 again. Sean Slay of Great Britain will take the bronze. Gary Mickelson, an excellent 4th place. So top ride from the Kiwi riders. They were 1, 3, and 5 in the individual pursuit. Chris, Gary, and Wayne, and again they are 1-2. So Chris Ellington, that's his 6th world champion jersey, and carries on the wonderful tradition in points racing. That is his 3rd world points race title in a row. winning in Manchester in the 45 to 49, defending here in Roubaix last year, and now in the 50 to 54 category. He takes over from Justin Stott as the reigning champion.